Hi and welcome to episode number 80 of Junk Journal with me. Today I'm going to be making an envelope following very closely a tutorial from a lady called Guy Kerr. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I will of course link the video below, and I'm doing pretty much fairly exactly what she's doing. And I enjoyed this process so much, which is why I want to encourage you to give it a try, because it's very easy and it's a very satisfying result. So what you see me doing here is I just took a plain regular sized coffee stained copy paper, and she uses a thicker paper. I think she has like 120 grams, and this one, the regular copy paper, is only 80 grams, but I love the feeling of this crinkly paper, so I'm fine with that. So all I did here was I made this half circle at the top, and then I inked the edges, and now I'm just using a random a random stamp, and stamping all over the envelope in various places. And I'm going to be using another stamp to just give it more variety, and you can use any kind of stamp for this. This is just to kind of make a pattern and to grunge it up a bit further. And yeah, so I'm doing that all over the envelope, and as you see, I have not closed it yet, so that I'm able to work on all the sides more easily, especially later on. And we are going to again be using napkins. So it seems to be the time for napkins at the moment. I'm finding so many, yeah, and look at my fingers after this. That's the part I really don't like, because it's really hard to get off with this permanent ink. So anyway, I'm finding the most lovely napkins at the moment in all the local stores. I mean, look at this. Springtime seems to be the best time of year to look for napkins. And if you really can't find any in any of your local stores, I have seen beautiful napkins even on AliExpress, which I didn't know they had. So go check those out. Just put in what did I search for? Vintage napkins, I think I put in, and got beautiful results. So if you're patient enough and you can't find local ones, that might be the option for you. So what I'm doing here is I am just as I've done before with a spread a few weeks ago, I'm just taking parts of the napkin and tearing those, and then I'm just placing them on various places on the envelope, and I'm just gluing those down with a regular glue stick because I'm kind of done with decoupaging. It's too messy, it's the napkin rips, and it's not necessary. The glue stick is just perfect. I love the feeling of it actually, this more, because it feels more like fabric. So I will now also put a piece on the back. And what Guy was doing, she was not, you know how I always separate first the 3 layers? Well, she didn't do that. She just tore the napkin as it was and then separated the layers of the parts that she needed, which I tried here as well, and it works, but I honestly prefer my method. I think it's easier. The tearing is easier, and then you don't have to deal with all the 3 layers every time. But that's a personal preference. So I just love this. Look at these beautiful roses. Just put them there, and yeah, so I definitely need to make more of these because they're just beautiful. I love the feeling of them. I love the look of them. And if you want to see a slower tutorial, please go check out the link that I put in this description box. And she also has other really nice videos on tutorials and other things, so go check her out. So now I'm adding one last piece, which was this little bird. And the next step, I believe, is then to also add some fabric, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, what do I pull out next? think first I'm just checking how that would look, and I love it. It really looks so grungy and everything with all the distressing and the stamping. And yeah, here's some fabric bits, and I am just going to choose some fabric that works with the colors I have there. And I'm just going to play around also with some lace that I have. These are vintage pieces from flea market tablecloths, but that piece was too big, so I decided to cut in half, and I'm using both of those pieces in different places on the envelope. And I'm combining that with some floral fabric pieces, layering that on top of each other. And I will also be adding a word on the top as well, just like she does. And I'm actually going, I think, to be stitching that. So I mean, you know, I love the combination of lace and fabric and paper. I don't know what could be better than that, to be honest. I don't know why. It's the different textures, the different layers. There's just something about it that makes it so special and unique. So now I'm also adding some fabric on the top, and I will then find a word in my cigar box where I keep my pre-printed and cut out words. I've just printed those in a Word document on a coffee stained paper so that I have them ready to go when I need them. So here I chose one that says secrets, and I just have to ink the edges. Yeah, and I wanted to add that other piece of lace there. And that's so pretty as it is. I mean, I really love it. So now I'm just gonna glue those fabric bits and the lace down with some tacky glue, as well as the paper. I'm not sure now if I actually sew that. I think I sew it down as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I contemplate whether to put one on the back as well, because she did that, but I really didn't think that was necessary, because I think the back already had enough pretty things on it. And oh yeah, next step is to add some gesso. Now, this is something I think is quite optional, and I can't really show you the top because I had it open already, and if I would have tipped it over more, it would have run out. So it's just a normal gesso. I don't even remember the brand name. It's not golden. It was, I don't know, it was on sale somewhere. So I'm just putting some on a thin layer, and if you don't have gesso, if you really wanted to add a layer to kind of mute everything down, you could definitely just use white acrylic paint, but maybe thin it down with water a little bit. And once it's dry, it will not be as white, quite as white as you see it at the moment. It looks very white now, I know, but that will change. And now I'm just drying that with my heat gun. And of course you could have done that before you put on the fabric, but I believe that Guy actually I did sew that little piece down. And I also sewed first around the flap of the envelope, and then stitched up both of the sides of the envelope to close it. But of course, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just glue those sides down, and that's it. If you wanted to, you could add faux stitching with a black pen, or you don't do it at all. It's really not that necessary. And here you see the effect of the gesso when it's dry. It's not as white anymore, but it does really dampen all the colors. So I think I also like it without the gesso on it, but the gesso kind of adds a little something special. And here I'm adding a vintage letter from 1953, and I don't want to read it to you or translate it exactly, because I do want to respect the author, and he included a photo of himself, which I thought was really cute, and he's written it to a lady that he has met on a train from Graz to Vienna, which is about a 2-hour drive, and he's writing her how what a good time he had with her, and I think he's writing from South America, and that he misses his home, and he wishes her a Merry Christmas, and it's such a sweet letter. And I decided to put that in there. I had found that with some other letters at the flea market, and this is one of the few letters I can actually read the writing, so I was very happy about that find. And I wanted to give it a new home, and I wanted to respect it, and that's why I wanted to put it in this new beautiful envelope. And now I just had to find a spot for this envelope, and I ended up deciding to just put it in between some pages with some wide washi tape. And this washi tape, by the way, I have gotten locally. It's an MT brand. If I find the name of it, I might have that. I will link it below. And I think this is probably the most expensive washi I have ever bought, because it was €8. But I just had to have it. It's so beautiful that I could not resist. So now that letter is in there with the photo, and I also have some vintage postcards that I found at the flea market as well, and this one is an Easter one, and it's a beautiful black and white one. And I found some other postcards which are mostly birthday cards, and they're all empty on the back actually, and I think one of them might be a name day card. And I love these floral images. I paid for, how many are there? I think there were 8 cards in total, and I paid, I think, €10. I had to negotiate a little bit to get that price, but yeah, I don't know if I still paid too much, maybe. But I really wanted to have them, so I just kind of went with it. He started off at 15, and at least I got him down to 10. So I wanted to attach this postcard on a page, and I'm trying to find the one where I think it fits best, which ends up being this one. And I wanted to use this one because it's an Easter one, and we are close to Easter. And to attach it, I wanted to use one of my cluster pieces that I have that already have some paper clips attached. So they're very easy to just put on. It's always nice to have some ready-made things to just attach to your journal. And by the way, a master of doing this is actually Joie. I hope you know her videos, because she always has fantastic tips on having pre-made ephemera for your journals. And I will link her below as well, because she has an awesome channel, and she posts every Saturday. She has live videos where you can chat with her. They're really fun actually. So I've attached that, and now the third thing I do was I wanted to continue working with this half of the envelope where I attached the wax seal from Tamami's Happy Mail. So I wanted to complete that one, and I wanted to give that white part, of course, a different image. So I chose this piece, which is actually from another Happy Mail from Annette, and that looks much better, I think. And I just decided to staple down that bottom because I think that little piece was too loose to actually hold something. So I wanted to attach another one of these postcards, and I decided for this very colorful one, and I'm just gonna stick it in there, and that will be my third spread for this episode. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you the next time. Have a great day. Bye.
I'll get there in time. Hang on, I'm trying. I'll get there, and now I'm losing my mind.